Let's stop playing. If you were abused as a child, violated, neglected, or hurt in ways beyond your control, this video ain't about you. Your pain is valid and deserves healing, not criticism. But as for the rest of you out here calling every dumb decision you keep repeating trauma, you're not wounded. You're reckless, and you're mistaking consequences for victimhood. Relationships? You stayed with a liar. You caught him cheating, and instead of walking, you forgave him. Again and again and again. Now you online talking about how damaged you are when what you really are is hard-headed. You ignored reality because fantasy felt better. In fact, according to Psychology Today, nearly 70% of people who forgive a cheater are cheated on again. And those who stay often develop worse anxiety, distrust, and emotional detachment over time. That ain't trauma, that's you auditioning for pain and calling it love. Finances. You're broke, but you're not financially oppressed. You're just undisciplined. You got new sneakers and bundles, but you dodging bill collectors like they owe you money. Let's be real. You spend like a millionaire, save like a child, and plan like you're immortal. And don't tell me you don't make enough, because Pew Research reports that 53% of low-income adults still spend on luxury goods monthly, even while living paycheck to paycheck. So that's not capitalism crushing you, that's you choosing aesthetics over assets. Being poor and looking rich, that's a trauma response called financial self-sabotage, but you dress it up as self-care. Burnout and boundaries. You tired, exhausted, burnt out. Not because life is cruel, but because you keep saying yes when your spirit is screaming no. You overextend yourself to people who wouldn't even return your text if you disappeared. You post I'm drained, but keep playing superhero in everyone's drama. The American Psychological Association found that 76% of burnout cases are rooted in people-pleasing and boundary avoidance, not external stress. That's not trauma, that's cowardice disguised as kindness. You don't want peace, you want to be liked. And now you're broken by obligations nobody forced on you. Spiritual life. You're not under spiritual warfare. You're just reaping everything you sowed while ignoring God's voice for years. You ghosted prayer. You surrounded yourself with demons disguised as fun. You laughed off warning signs, and now you crying in the dark talking about how attacked you feel. You didn't get cursed, you got corrected. That's not spiritual trauma, it's divine accountability you keep dodging. Fake friends. You keep ranting about fake people and snakes in the grass, but you chose them. You kept them around after the lies, after the envy, after the sabotage. You ignored your gut. Why? Because fake people are better than feeling alone to you. Harvard's Social Dynamics Lab found that most people ignore intuition in friend selection, choosing comfort and familiarity over integrity, even when the red flags are obvious. So you fed the same vipers that eventually bit you, and now you want sympathy for bleeding. Personal decisions. You smoke away your anxiety, you drink away your guilt, you scroll endlessly to numb out the silence that reminds you of the work you're avoiding. Then when it all crashes, you call it trauma. But your trauma isn't from your past, it's from your lack of discipline in the present. Nobody forced you to ghost your goals, nobody forced you to chase validation over values. You're not a victim of life. You are a repeat offender of self-abandonment. But you want to know what the cold truth is? You don't have trauma. You have attachment to dysfunction. You don't have PTSD, you have PBP, poor boundaries pattern. You're not under attack, you're under the weight of your own poor choices. And it's not cute, it's not brave, it's not relatable. It's self-inflicted sabotage wrapped in victim branding. Because real accountability sounds like this. I saw the signs and I stayed. I spent money I didn't have to impress people that don't even respect me. I kept saying yes to people who drained me. I turned my back on God and then wonder why I have no peace today. I let people close because I fear being alone more than I fear being betrayed. Now we're getting somewhere. Start there. That's not shame, that's growth. So no more delusions going forward. You're not cursed, you're not uniquely targeted, you're not a cosmic punching bag. You're a grown person making repeated, preventable, dumb decisions and dressing it up in trauma language so nobody will hold you to it. That stops today. Because the longer you lie to yourself, the longer you suffer. And the longer you suffer by your own hands, the less sympathy you deserve, in my opinion. You want healing? Get honest. You want peace? Clean your damn house. You want power? Stop crying over patterns you refuse to break. Because at some point it's not trauma. It's who you've chosen to become. And that choice, at the end of the day, is still yours. Yeah, some people's trauma is in fact self-inflicted. I said what I said.